In the next 10 minutes, I will share with you what took me 10 years to learn, how cash generating assets can work for you. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Luc Nicolas Verketien. And with this channel, I help people find their purpose and build a successful business around it. So welcome and let's get started. So what are cash generating assets? CGAs, cash generating assets, are assets or vehicles, you could call them, that actually work for you, that generate you a positive cash flow. So they are making you more cash than it is costing you. So there's a positive cash flow. It is basically the same as a income generating asset, but the difference between an income generating asset is that it provides you income, but you need to know how much it's costing you. How much money are you actually paying to keep the assets up and running? So assets, cash generating assets, could be anything from having real estate property rented out, having a business that makes a profit, having a real estate or stock or bonds or cryptocurrency investment, anything that ranges from active to passive forms of income that generates you positive cash flow. Those are cash generating assets. And I want to be visualizing this concept by drawing out what, in my eyes, is a cash generating asset. Cash generating assets are assets that generate you a cash flow, okay, that generate you a cash flow that is greater than what it costs. So imagine you have a cash generating asset that generates you a monthly cash inflow, okay, of $1,000, and it costs you $800 to run that asset. It means you have a positive cash flow of $200, positive cash flow, right? So this is actually the most important indicator for a cash generating asset, that it has a positive cash flow. It has a positive cash flow of 200. And a cash generating asset can range from everything from having a real estate property to a business or to stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency. Everything that generates you a positive cash flow, I regard as a cash generating asset. And why? Because it needs to make you money. If it's losing you money, it's not an asset anymore. It actually becomes a liability. Okay, that is what we want to avoid. We want to avoid that we end up with a liability that is actually costing us money. So a cash generating asset is a vehicle. It is a vehicle that is actually generating us money. Okay, so that is the most important to keep in mind, that it's actually generating us money. If the vehicle is not generating us a positive return, it is not a cash generating asset. So the lesson I wanted to be sharing also is, it took me 10 years to learn, is that a business, a lot of people think that having a business equals having a cash generating asset. Okay, but that is completely not true. Why is it not true? Because a business has profit. But profit is not the same as cash flow. It is just simply not the same. And without going into much detail and too much specifics why cash is not equal to profit, I just want to mention one thing. And that is that when you look at the capability of a business to generate free cash flow, okay, free cash flow that can be used to either invest personally as the owner of that business, or to invest in the business itself, okay, that is actually the most important indicator of having a business that can be regarded as a cash generating asset. The free cash flow. So if you manage to build a business that generates you with sufficient free cash flow to invest personally and also invest in your business, then you have a CGA that is worth 10 million. The last concept that I want to propose here is that a lot of people think, I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, they mention active and they mention passive income or cash flow, right? Income or cash flow. But I'm here to tell you that there is no such thing as passive income. There is only active income. And you might be thinking, why are you saying this? Perhaps you don't believe it's true, but it is. You have to see it this way. Okay, so imagine you own a business. Okay, so this is a business, and you are the owner of this business. So you are the shareholder. Okay, so you have 100% of the shares of this business. Okay, so this business is generating you cash, it's generating you profit, it's generating income. So you could classify it as a cash generating asset, something that should be used and intended on. The fact is that people think that even if you're a shareholder, that perhaps you are passively managing that business. But the truth is that as long as you have shares of a company, you're in one way or another always involved with the business activities, making it an active, making it an activity, making it an active relationship. So regardless of the position that you're in, a CGA always needs maintenance and attention. Always. A CGA always needs maintenance and attention. And if someone tells you that is not true, they are completely mistaken. And I can tell you that if you have 40 hours per week, okay, if you work 40 hours per week, even if you own 10 different businesses, if you want to let that business run fluently, you will have either to use 10 hours a week to manage the business itself, or you have to manage the managers. So you have either to manage the business or you manage the managers or the executives. Okay, so you have a supervisory board. You have a supervisory board that actually manages the manager's managers, right? So it's all about layers. So imagine if I draw it out for you in this way. Okay, so imagine this is the operational layer. Okay, then above the operational layer, you have the managers, but above the managers again, you have the executives, and above the executives, you have the supervisory board, and above the supervisory board, you have the shareholders. Depending on where you find yourself, you will always have to put in the time. So even if it's 1 hour here, if it's 2 hours here, if it's 4 hours here, 8 hours here, 16 hours here, regardless of the phase or the level you're working in, it all requires input. Everything in life is active. Nothing is passive. There is no such thing as passive income. And the cash generating asset could be for you in the fact that you're here. So you're getting income in the form of dividends. Okay. Or you could be here, as in you're working in the supervisory board, so you're receiving a remuneration, or perhaps you're an executive, so you're receiving a salary, or perhaps you're working as a manager, so you're receiving salary. So in either form, there is always a cash generating asset, either being it receiving dividends, receiving remuneration, being a board of the supervisory board, being an executive receiving a salary, being a manager, or being functioning in an operational level. There's always a cash generating asset in the situation you are in. So I hope you found this valuable. I have another video which talks about how the cash generating asset is related to, for example, using debt to leverage and to earn an income. So I will show that video right here. And I have a video that talks about how you can set up a marketing strategy to build a business and actually build your own cash generating assets. So if you found this video valuable, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave behind a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.